Welcome back to Jim's Garage Toys. Today's project, we're going to be changing the oil and filter on a 2019 Toyota Tacoma with the 2.7 liter inline 4. So same as most other Toyotas, we picked up a OEM filter. We have a jug of oil. This one takes 5.1 quarts of 0W20. We have the proper oil filter cap to get the old filter off. Other tools that you'll need is a 14mm wrench or socket for the drain plug. I always have an old screwdriver that in case I have to scrape the old gasket off for the oil plug. And then, I've never done the filter on this, but you might need an extension and the socket for use for the oil filter. So, and of course, trusty drain pan is on the floor. So, first thing, whenever you're doing an oil change, make sure that you loosen the cover, the fill cover, so that it allows air to move and purge as the oil is draining. It will drain much faster and more completely. So that's the first step you always want to do. I'm underneath the truck now, and obviously here we have our old drain plug, and then the oil filter is over on this side. There we go. So we'll actually get it. It's kind of tucked up under there. There we go. So yeah, for this one, a long extension will come in handy. So we'll go ahead and get the oil draining, and then we'll attack the oil filter. Okay, so I just broke the drain bolt loose, so we'll get if I actually move that. Going straight into the hole. This one's kind of unique because it's actually on the very bottom of it. Normally, it'll be on the angled side of the pan. Almost every other car I've seen is like that. So this is easy, at least, to, you know, it's going to go straight down. You don't have to gauge the arc of the oil. Okay, so I just broke this loose, so got this tucked up under there. So, and you can see a long extension worked well to give me some swing movement here just below the oil pan. So now that that is loose, I should be able to. I loosened it just a little bit. Now there it goes. The oil filler wrench cap there didn't want to come off. Now this one is inverted. It's still making a mess on me. Oh, it's dripping from all over the place. Isn't that lovely? Pointed the wrong way. So there's the oil filter housing right there. So OEM filters, you don't have to worry about it too much. But if you're using an aftermarket filter, make sure the old gasket comes off. And I can see looking at it that it's not on there. So that's still dripping a little bit. You're not going to get all that out, but I let it drip as much as it takes till I get the filter back on. So, but I do want to point out that you can see the washer still on there, and that is a very critical thing to make sure that you don't put a new one on top of the old one, because it will leak. So make sure that you get it off. And that's why I have this. Oh, guess what? There were 2 of them on there. So, lucky that it wasn't leaking. So, okay, so we'll let that drip more. But I had that experience one time where I didn't realize it didn't come off. And I got down the road a little bit, and my oil pressure light came on, and I was pissing oil from the bottom end and didn't know what was going on since I'd just done the oil change. Went back home, pulled it back up, and I realized what I'd done, so I never made that mistake again. So that's a good thing to check. This one wasn't leaking, so fortunate, but make sure that you always get that old one off. Okay, so just screwed the drain plug back on with the fresh washer. If you get your filters from Toyota, the nice thing about the OEM filters is they're generally less than other aftermarket filters, and most dealers I know will always toss in a new drain plug gasket for you at no charge. So that's a nice tip there for that. So finally, we let it drip for a while. Seal that back up. We'll spin the new filter on, which we got right here, all ready to roll. So another little thing that Toyota does is they lubricate the gaskets, and they're sealed from the factory, which is kind of nice. Aftermarket oil filters, you always have to put a little film of oil on so it seals up properly. But these are pre-lubricated, so go ahead and spin that on right now. Let's push this out of the way. I don't need that now. So whenever you're doing this, you'll feel it go over the threads, kind of the center bolt there that it threads to. And then just spin it on and just do it hand tight. As tight as you can do it with your hand, and that's more than enough. You don't need to crank it on there, so you need a breaker bar to get the thing off, like some of these shops do. And that's it. New filters on, drain plugs on, we're done into the car. Without showing this and videotaping it, literally you could have this done, an oil change by yourself in less than 15 minutes. It just doesn't take that long. And most of that time is just letting it kind of drip out and get most of the old stuff out. So, okay, we're done here. We'll move up top. Okay, back up top here. So, got my funnel ready. Now, one tip that I always do is I have this filter, or this funnel, for oil, and I only use this funnel for clean oil. I don't use it for dirty oil. I have a different one for that, for when I'm emptying the oil drain pan into an empty jug for oil recycling. So this is my clean one, nice and easy. And don't think that you're that good that you're gonna get it in this hole every time without spilling. So use a funnel, don't make a mess. Okay. And in it goes. This one's actually easy because it takes 5.1 quarts with an oil filter. So pretty easy just to put in the 5 quarts and call it good. We have the Valvoline full synthetic we're putting in, 0W20. This is a 2019, so you can tell we're doing the right thing because it says modern engine. Look at that. Even for dummies, you can get the right oil. And it says engines 2012 and newer. See, I couldn't use this on my 2009, which is interesting because it has the same engine as the 2013 Corolla does. The marketing people and what they think of. All right, that is done. That is out. And where's the cap? And I know this is an obvious one, but don't forget to put your cap back on. I hear stories all the time of people, more at shops, believe it or not, that they have the oil change done by somebody and they forget to put the cap back on. It's amazing it happens, but all right, there we go. So just to wrap it up, we did use ramps on this one. Ramps are well worth it for any car. Most trucks you can get under, but it did make it easier, just that much more height. So, but hope this helps anybody that wants to learn how to do an oil change, and they have a Tacoma with a 2.7 liter 4-cylinder. And if this helps you out, appreciate it if you subscribe, hit the like button, help us little guys out, get going. And until next time, you guys have a good day, and we'll see you down the road.